21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Did you know that the blood industry market is, blood cannot be manufactured, and blood is a very important thing in healthcare, right? Blood is a resource or a raw material that is required in the hospitals and health systems that cannot be manufactured in pharmacy, right? And year over year, less and less people have been coming and donating. Now, what happens? There is a stress on the blood markets. The blood price is going up, and you'll be surprised to see if it goes any lower, then you'll have a hard time. Even though you're a doctor and you're studying properly and everything of that sort, you will not be able to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter if you have good medicines, but if you don't have blood, you have a big problem. Most of the hospitals are only 150 years old. Right before that, they were community places where religiously they were taking care of patients. There was no hospital system. It's not like it's been a long time. So I believe during, again, I can actually give you a couple more things that I love. During the electricity time in 1920s, 1910s, when you had electricity come over, there was a new role that was coming up called a CEO, Chief Electrical Officer. They were supposed to be putting electricity in the industries and buildings and everything, and they were very worried about the safety precautions. And give 100 years, now everyone has electricity. Today we have a new role called Chief Data Engineer, Data Officer. Data is the new electricity today, which is going to be a common role, and that is digitization. And if you don't digitize, and if you look at the path of the past 100 years, you had, in the last, out of our last 100 years, last 30 years, I'm glad that I was part of this era, because 30 years back, mobile came in, internet came in, computers came in, AI came in, cloud came in, and that what you knew 30 years back and what you know now and what you have as resources is completely day and night. And today's CDO is going to transform into something. CAIO is going to come in, because AI is going to be a part of it. So I believe a transformation in the health system is imminent. There is nothing you can do about it, because this is the market changing, and hence we all have to work towards it. If the young kids are looking at it, I would say look at the trend lines and adapt yourself. Don't want to be on the sidelines, but definitely get onto the bandwagon. What we do is we digitize our workflows in the health systems. We actually make sure that there are gaps in the workflows. We are not a pointed solution company. We are a workflow digitization company. That means we take the workflow from A to Z, right, from start to end, and there are always gaps. There are mechanisms that you have. There are always gaps within there. Maybe a manual place where you're writing it on a paper, and that is not part of the entire workflow. So when you take the entire workflow and you digitize them, now you start analyzing them, because you get an extra set of data that is coming into the data lake that you didn't have before. Oh, when did Martin pick them up? Oh, what happened? When is he coming in? When is the patient come in? How long was he staying there? So you're able to analyze it. Once you start analyzing it, you want to optimize it. Now that is where you put in AI. So you digitize, you analyze, and you optimize. And that's what we do at Pycube, helping health systems to be AI ready for tomorrow. I am an engineer by training, not in healthcare. So I am an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. This is my third company that I'm running. My first two companies were technical in nature. So first one was a services thing. We exited to Bain Capital. The second one was, we were wondering, why is it taking such a long time for contracts to go through in businesses? You send them a contract, it takes about 4 months. 5 months sometimes to go through a contract. So we created a blockchain-based smart contract system, and we were able to sell that. So I was previously working in data centers. I was a data center architect. Uh, then I wanted to do something in data center services and stuff. That's when Amazon Web Services happened. Then I noticed, oh, it's not technology. It should be solutions that sell. Technology doesn't sell. Technology can be used to create a solution. So since I've been working in health systems, working for a long time, right now we're building a platform, operational efficiency platform. Obviously, healthcare has a lot of needs, a lot of manual things that happen. So, and they're busy. They can't utilize technology, and they're a little behind on adopting technology because then they're good with patients, but not with technology. So how do I help them? So we're trying to bring in and help them. But being an engineer, I'm not a social guy. We need to put our word out there. We're working with Cleveland Clinics. We're working with Baptist Health. We're working with the big companies, Henry Ford Systems. But not a lot of people know about us because healthcare is tough to get in. So not a lot of people know about us. A lot of investors don't know about us. Healthcare is a close-knit community. People listen in. They know about each other and whatnot. So wanted to put our word out there. This is what we are doing. There are some solutions that have not been solved. So we are working with asset. So health systems have these expensive equipment called asset. They're called biomedical assets. So a patient, you have assets that you need next to the bed to take care. Pumps could be, pregnant woman would have thermal blankets when their legs swell up. You actually put them. Those are all assets they use. They buy more than what they need. Example, if Martin has a two-car garage, but he buys 10 cars, then you have a parking problem, you have a registration problem, you have maintenance problem, then something will work, something will not work. Unnecessarily, you're paying taxes on all of them. So there's a lot of work that is additionally added to them as well. And then they don't find them. So we are helping them in assets. The same technology, how to manage them, don't spend more money, spend them on patient care. People yell at healthcare saying it's too expensive here, but they don't have any tools to actually save. So how do we create an operational efficiency platform that are common across health systems? So we started off with asset. We started getting into pathology labs where they collect cancer samples, tumor samples. When a patient actually gets their sample and tumor removed, doctor says maybe it's cancerous. Maybe let me test it. But when you actually send it out, my wife is probably, praying to the God. Hopefully, she should not have anything. And my kids are praying, and suddenly they lose them. And when you lose it, I can't diagnose it. Maybe you're on level 1 cancer, but because I can't get any more of it, by the time next time it grows, you're already level 4, and it's patient safety problem as well. So we are helping them solve those problems. In blood, there is a problem where blood contamination is a big problem. We are helping these problems did not come up yesterday, but they've been there for a long time. But how do you solve these problems? So I, being an engineer and architect, we are applying technology and innovating business model. Don't bring in new technology, but use the existing technology. How do you give them a very cost-effective solutions by changing the business model, better way of serving them so that they have affordable technology, accessible technology so that they can, save the money, bring it back into patient care. So that's the game that we're playing. We are trying to see, we're building something called digital hospital so that the hospitals can, health systems can, in one shot, have all the problems that they can, at least majority of them, which are common, they're able to come in. Like you go to Amazon and you're able to vision as you go to Amazon and you find everything. Here, as far as operations is concerned, if I'm able to put the common ones out there, it might help people to come in and start using the technology and save money. That's the whole point. And bottom line is patient safety and patient care. That's the problem. That's a vision that we are trying to achieve, and wanted to let the story being told outside and people to listen to this. Young kids have a lot of ideas, but I would tell them to actually respect the problem first. See, problems, they want to actually boil the entire ocean and try to actually take on the entire mountain at one time. Before that, respect the problem. Because if you respect the problem and you understand, you're not the smartest kid in the world, but there are people who have tried that before as well. If you're able to see why they failed, you'll probably be able to understand how can you, what might have happened and how to apply certain things. So, the first thing for the puzzle is respect the problem. Second is have patience. You can't solve the problem in 2 nights. Sometimes it takes time, and you have to take that course. You have to talk to a lot of people in this area, get that nuances in that problem, and then apply solutions to it. Solution comes later if you really understand the pain points of the problem. Technology application is the last thing that I would say you would have to do. Don't apply, hey, just because I know AI, I'm going to solve this problem. No, that's not how it works. Understand the problem. Where is it? Maybe you don't need AI. Maybe you don't need. So don't apply technology ahead of the game. I know young kids are very fast in moving ahead and doing things. Then you miss the whole point of it. So respect the problem, have patience and persistence. Talk to a lot of people who have done that before or in the market, and then apply technology. Then you'll probably have a better chance of moving ahead. Because this is not my first time doing it, and nothing comes in overnight. My It takes at least about a good product line. It takes about 2 to 3 years to figure it out. You have to spend your cycles around it. You have to dream it, you have to sleep on it, you have to wake up, you have to talk to people, you have to do it. Then you get an idea. Sometimes you might be lucky, you'll get it faster, but understand the problem and have persistence and perseverance. In the AI IoT world, what I would say is I always have a saying, um, AI without PI is not going to work out. Artificial intelligence without practical intelligence is not going to work out. Why do I say that? There are a lot of things that I hear from the market saying, oh, this is a new problem. If you apply AI and we start looking at the data, it is going to solve the problem. No, it won't solve the problem. It is going to take a smart guy to actually apply it in the right way and ask the right questions and guide it to actually make it work. And if you lack the practical intelligence to solve that problem, you AI will not. It'll make mistakes, and you'll probably make a thing worse than that. So people have put AI in certain places where they have at least understanding of what happens. Automatic cars. I know how to drive a car, so I can actually figure out what should I do when something happens. Automatic drones, because people know how to drive a plane, so they know what happens in moving. But things that you don't know or human mind comprehend, trying to see if you can apply AI to it, you don't even know what the outcome is. So applying AI, be careful about it. Has a lot. It's a lot powerful, but learn about, again, respect the problem, right? IoTs are very important in today's world. I foresee that AI is here to stay, and IoTs are going to play part of it because there are a lot of pieces in our day-to-day life that are not connected today, and they will be connected tomorrow. So AI is only going to get new data streams, like from my fridge, from a thermostat, from me. It's already being connected. I can only see that a human brain that cannot comprehend everything in one shot, AI will be smarter and will be bigger in their life. And the solutions that you're going to pitch for the next 10 years are going to incorporate IoTs, which is not going to go away, AI, which I think is commoditized already because everyone is using AI. What does it mean that if everyone is using AI, there is no edge for you unless you do something different? So those are becoming table stakes at this point. So you need to have on a poker, you're almost there table stakes, and you need to build anything but have AI assisted, not build on it, because that'll be part of it. It's like, do you know ABCDs? Oh, I know ABCDs. That's no one is going to ask you a question at that point of time. It's supposed you're supposed to have it. AI is supposed to be there. So um, in that area, I think for the young kids, building solutions and building and newer solving the problem only based on AI. Don't base your products on AI. it has to be AI assisted, which goes without saying. These days, when you go to a conference, also investors are expecting people to have AI that you're not even asking questions about it anymore. So it's become a nuance at this point, and so when you're working on newer technologies, newer things, AI will be part of it. My companies were all bootstrapped till now. I've never taken money from the market. Lucky me, I should say. I'm not. It's not humbly. I would say that I was lucky enough to have the companies run profitably, and I never had to take money from the outside. So my journey has been bootstrapping is a completely different market than actually going with the investors, because you almost dance with the devil or people who are smarter than you. That's in the investor world. In bootstrapping, you get a chance to move ahead, but you don't have all the resources to go fast and crash into something. So it's your money. You're going to spend on it. Every penny matters. Every person you hire, every hour is being burned is your money. So where are you going is going to be very important. So bootstrapping definitely takes a different kind of a leader with a lot of patience, but also to be calm and quiet, breathe properly, and listen to where you're going, because every money you're spending for the next 6 months, if you're not able to get the money back, then you've just taken away all the money you saved and you threw into something that you don't know. Um, Investment is, I have done bootstrapping all my life till now, and but I would greatly um, encourage people to actually take money from the market. The reason being, whenever your product is being sold to a customer who's not your cousin or brother or in-laws or person you know, that validates your product. Whenever someone else puts money in your product, that validates your product as well. So it's an ecosystem that should not be lost. It has value both sides of the coin. Bootstrapping does actually add value. The biggest problem with coming up with a newer product is the value of the product. What is the value of the company? What is this? So having an investor in, the first thing you'll have is the value. They will value it you at a certain price, and that helps you to see where you are in the market. So definitely there are two different lives. Bootstrap has a different life of itself. You bootstrap, you can make $10 million, but you don't know what the value of the company is. You can only imagine what the value is. So it's a different ball game. You need to have people advisory perspective. I would say if I am advising on running a company, definitely have people who are smarter than you, who are wiser than you, to be part of your team. You should not be the most smartest person in the market or in the team at least, because you will make mistakes. You'll not have the path forward. So those are three things. Have smarter people than you in the company, take money from the market because that validates, and do sell it to people who don't know. That improves your pitch, that improves your standing, that improves your product, that validates your product. So a lot of things are cleaned up from that perspective. Then you'll understand go to market, where do you go. Life, trust me, life becomes a lot easier after you do that. Don't stick to the first guy. Always go to the second or third guy that you can sell to. That creates a path forward for your product. Healthcare, it's an interesting market. Healthcare is. US market is about $26 trillion. GDP is $26 trillion at this point, and healthcare is $5 trillion out of it. So it's almost 25%, 20 to 25% of the US market is healthcare. So to give you a context of percentage wise, 60%, 50 to 60% of research that happens in healthcare happens in America. So rest of the world is only 40%, right? So that's huge, because it contributes a lot to the world market in health and everything of that sort. With that being said, the health systems in America are almost stressed out at this point of time, because more and more people are living for a longer period of time. More and more tests have been happening. Example, I'll give you my father when he passed away in 2005. We didn't even have basic amenities in India, and there were a lot of things that are popping up. In just last 20 years, today you have all kinds of different diagnostic tests. New things are coming up. It the new things are coming up. What does it mean? That means every time I go to a doctor, he's doing a new test on me. That means there is people coming in. There are new kinds of tests coming in. So new training has to happen. New kinds of training has people have to come into the workforce. New lines of businesses have been created in healthcare because we don't know about 100% about our health. It's still in infancy. They say it's in the 40% margin. There is a lot to learn about a human body. Even the doctors say that we don't know everything. I don't know why you are getting these problems. I'll be a detective and see if that is a problem I can solve, or maybe let me research a little bit. So, in this kind of a mechanism where it's not solved yet, it's getting better and better, and we are living longer and longer. In If I tell you in 1900s, the average life of a person was about 40s to 50s. 50s in 1800s, it's about 40s. Now it is about 70s, 80s. People are living up to 70. That means more and more people are being taken care of. That being said, when you have, I would also say it's a service industry. Hospitals are nothing but a service industry. It's like a mechanic shop of a car. When a car gets, it's not good, you take it to a mechanic shop. You fix it and you send it back. The same thing happens in hospital. 100 years back, the same thing happened. I got sick. I went to a hospital. They fixed me and sent me back. Even today, I get sick. I go to a hospital. They send me back. So nothing changed from a utility of a hospital, but more things are fixed right now than what they were before. That puts a lot of stress on the healthcare market because more people are coming in. More people are not coming into the healthcare market to serve the patients. Only more patients are coming in. The per capita of number of people that we're taking care in a hospital is increasing a lot, so that puts a lot of pressure. With that pressure, when they move around, um, imagine samples are moving around. So they're collecting blood from about 10, 15 people. They're collecting samples. They're collecting urine analysis from people, stool analysis to test. Oh, maybe he has a cancer. Oh, he has a bloodshot, gunshot wound. He's probably person is coming in with a cancer. He's probably having a burn. Oh, there's a accident, and suddenly the people they're moving around. They're fast, so they want to save the patients. With that kind of chaos, mistakes happen. You don't have tools suddenly, and every patient is important, but mistakes happen. And in this kind of an environment, the primary goal of a hospital is to take care of the patient. But when mistakes happen, they don't have the tools to actually, put them back. There could be a lawsuit because of some mistakes. It's a drain on the money that health systems have. There is a patient who doesn't have money. You're taking care of all these things, but you don't get paid. That's also a financial burden on the hospital. In this kind of a thing, I need to use the resources I have efficiently to make sure I can provide a service. So, what are the tools that are required to make sure these things are properly managed on the cost side so that you don't spend more, but at the same time, you're able to actually put the right amount so that you can the revenue as well. It's also important to actually make sure you have the money to take care of the next patient. What are the tools required? How do you cleverly move things around and innovate new business models to make sure this technology can be adopted? That is the play Pycube is playing. And it is a tough market to get into. It has a higher, it's not easy to get into a health system because they don't trust people from outside easily. I had to go through 5 years of working in health systems to learn what they're doing and then get in. But it's a frustration for new kids and new entrepreneurs who are coming in. Oh, health system is so boring. No, no, no. It has a different way of selling and buying. You have to understand that part. Once you understand that, where are you selling? How are you selling it? Who are you talking to? What is your value prop? If you understand that properly, they are very good buyers and they are going to keep you they're keepers too. They keep you for a long period of time. It is just that getting in requires a little bit more thought, strategy, go to market. And that would make you successful if you're working on this area. digitization is a efficiency utility of a business. What do I mean by that is everyone can actually do business. Not everyone, but these are, let's say, Expedia. It's an online thing. Some new businesses have come into picture after internet has come in. But previously we did work. I'll give you an example of airline industry, right? Imagine 40 years back, maybe most of the kids would not know what an airline industry was. But if I had to go to Dallas, if I had to travel to Dallas, I would have, the only way I could have done it is I would walk into an airport and buy a ticket at the counter. So if I had to go to Dallas, I need to go to the counter and go and ask them, do you have any tickets for tomorrow Dallas or today Dallas? And then buy a ticket. What if she says, I don't, I'm sold off? Then would you go to Frontier Airlines next door? Then you go to, that's exactly how it was. Imagine what happened. They moved the digitization, the friction that a customer has, and the connection between a customer and a seller was at the doorstep of that buying of a ticket. They moved a little bit behind and put an agent in between, an Expedia. Now you're able to actually see if you can, which Dallas flight has empty tickets. Now that's digitization, because airlines had to give the data to the Expedia. Expedia would actually put a front outside, and I would actually log in and, and again, there is also other thing, credit cards. Even when I select the line, I have to pay them as well. So those are digitization, financial digitization, data digitization, customer digitization, right? You're basically giving the customer. Internet gave you that. Then what happened? I used to work at an airline, Northwest Airlines, and the boarding pass was only being issued at the point, right? When you go to the airport, that is when we didn't have those kiosks. 20 years back, we just started doing those kiosks. They're nothing but Microsoft Windows. So you have to go there on time, 1.5 before, you go in and take. Now that is also moved back. Now I get a ticket, sit at home, there is an app on my phone, click on it, it automatically checks me in, I just walk in. Now, the result of all these things is an efficient piece. Tomorrow I want to go to Dallas, I'm able to do it from my couch. I'm able to book myself, I'm able to get the boarding pass and then go. Digitization always improves the number of the market itself, the efficiency in the market. Healthcare, when it comes in as well, there is a lot of friction between the patient and the provider. If you, right, you don't have scheduling problems, there are issues, I'm not finding things. Digitization at every level. There are gaps in health system. There are, in the workflows that they have, there are gaps. Understanding where is that you can actually improve that time for a patient to take care of himself by taking the right help. There is a lot of play in that area in digitization world. I don't care if you're in India or in America, it's a business problem. Digitization helps you to improve, efficiently move, more, to see more patients, reduce the stress on people, and put the onus back on the patient. And you'll be able to actually get a lot more done with the same amount of resources. So the digitization does have, I believe digitization can exponentially improve the efficiencies in any operation, including healthcare. There is a lot of information on the website, pycube.com. You can visit there. We have white papers, and we have published some case studies as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about how are we looking at the problems and how are we solving them. Also follow us on LinkedIn, and we are very active on LinkedIn, and you can follow us. And if you have questions, I'm available. And if there is any entrepreneurs or if anyone from the healthcare operations side, if you want to get connected, please feel free to connect me on LinkedIn, and more than happy to chat if you have any questions.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Pycube.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Pycube, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.